Well, hello everyone, this is Rick Passek, FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. As you can see, I am wearing an Ahrex shirt. I have just been accepted onto the Ahrex Pro Team. Absolutely phenomenal hooks. You guys got to go check them out at ahrex.com. Great hooks, great variety of hooks, anything from saltwater to still waters to rivers. It's great stuff, so go check them out. Today we will be tying a little river nymph. Not so little, but a river nymph. It's a very natural looking fly, but also it's got just that little tiny hint of sparkle in it, just to get that attraction, right? To get that attention of those fish. So let's get her going. So today in a device, we have an Ahrex FW 540 in a size 8. 8, 10, 12 is what I'll tie this one in. It's got an oversized brass bead on it. You could go with gold as well, but go oversized. So whatever hook you're tying, look on your bead chart and find the next size up bead for it. I want it oversized. If you want this even heavier, you could put underbody lead on this one as well, if you want a little bit heavier. I'm just noticing this bead is a kind of a junky one. It's got some little nibs on it. I don't want that. Being picky, but take that off. So make sure that anytime you guys are tying your own flies, if your hooks aren't barbed, make sure make sure you pinch them. This one's barbed. I will pinch it after, like I do with anytime I have pinched ones. I always do it after. But so there. So we'll start with Semperfli Nanosilk in white. We will also be using some Semperfli Nanosilk in black. I'll be using some Hends body glass in the clear. It's a medium. And I will be using some Hends hair dubbing plus. That's why that's that sparkle, that little bit of sparkle. That number 2 is what we're going to use. But you see it's got that little tiny bit of sparkle in it. And then I'll be using one Hungarian partridge feather. Okay, so to start your thread, cut off your excess there, a little bit of wax just so it helps stick on the hook a little bit better. I'll come all the way down around this corner to about there. I'll put 1/2 hitch in right at the back there. Okay, and then I'm going to take my thread and I'm going to just hang it back over my tensioning knob for my rotation, just to keep it out of the way. We'll need that a little bit later. Now I'm going to tie on my black 12/0 Nanosilk. I'm going to get my rib, Hens ribbing here. I'm just warming it up just a little bit and pulling it tight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this in with that thinned section all the way back. And I'm really pulling. All the way back, and then I can come forward. And you see, doing that little melt to tie it in at the front and give it a really pull keeps a nice consistent body. There's no bumps, right? So now I'm going to make sure that the D part is down, and I'm going to leave I'm pulling a little bit tighter in the back here, but I'm leaving a gap, as you can see there. Every time I come around, I want to leave a good gap. And I'm loosening off a little bit on my tension as I come forward. Okay, and then as I tighten up here, I'm pulling pretty hard on the skin, on the D-rib. You want to make sure that's tied in really well. You don't want to pull and cut this and then zip, it unravels. So, okay, I will take my whip finisher, and I'm going to whip finish 2 times up front here. Just as an extra safety precaution. I'm going to take my white thread now that I've left hanging in the back, and I'm going to really wax this up really well. Wax this, wax it, because you want that hair dubbing, that hair plus, to stick to it well. Okay. So now I'm going to get some of that hair dubbing plus. And just spread that along my white thread here. And then I'm going to, until I get to there, now I'm going to go in and in between each segment tighten that up just a wee tad, and then a couple of turns right at the front, and then pull that excess out. Whip finish, just so I don't lose anything. Then I'm going to take my dubbing brush, just brush that out. I want it to be nice and buggy. Okay, that's about it. Then take a Hungarian partridge feather here, fairly small one. I don't want a huge one here. I don't need 2-inch long legs. So, one feather, strip off your underfluff. This is going to be tied in by the tip. So I'm going to grab it by the tip and stroke back my material, my feathers here, so just so I can expose the tip and put in, make a nice tie-in point. Again, wax. Especially on these smaller feathers and stuff, you really need to try to be diligent with waxing. They do have a tendency of slipping out. Then I'm going to get my hackle plier. Just going to make sure this is all folded back. Now, if you want a thicker, more legs, do it like I'm doing it. If you want less legs, you can strip off one side, right? Oh, I pulled it out. That's okay. Just go back to my my whip finish, which is right there, and grab another one. It's not a huge deal. Pulled a little too tight on that one, so that's okay. Not that I love making mistakes, but I like keeping my mistakes in my videos, as you guys would. If you guys watch a lot of my videos, then you'll know I make mistakes with the rest of you. I just like keeping them in to show people that even if you make a mistake, easy to fix most of the time. Try that again. So again, you can make this as thick or as thin as you want. Just if you want it thinner, leg wise, just strip off that leading edge. Here, I'll show you guys, just because I'll show you a thinner one, which is probably the one I use more, is the thinner, sparser, let's call it, not thinner, sparser. And try to keep your thread right up against that bead. Okay? Don't worry about what it looks like right at the moment. Once I hit it with a brush, it'll separate itself. So just because this Hungarian partridge is a little on the oily side, this one, so feathers stick together a bit. So, but it'll lay down nicely once you're fishing it. Now you could put the slightest little, here I'll just do it, the slightest little tiny bit of that dubbing right behind the head there. Don't put too much because you'll force that stuff back those legs back too far. And then finish. You're finished. Like I said, this will spread better once it gets wet. These legs. It's just this feather. I know this whole thing is pretty on the oilier side. I wish this one wasn't quite as oily, but it is. I can even feel it with my fingers. So, but it will lay down nice and it'll move nice. So there's your finished little fly. Like I said, it's a fairly easy fly. You don't even have to put the legs on if you want. Put an extra little bit of dubbing right at the front and pull that out, and you can stop there. You don't need to put this Hungarian Partridge on if you don't want to. I just like it because it makes it look even buggier, and I really like buggy flies, especially for the rivers. I really like them as buggy because this is just gonna float down and bounce along the bottom and have lots of movement in those legs and stuff, right? So, ready? Hope you guys enjoyed that one, and if you did, give her a thumbs up. If you've subscribed, awesome, thank you. This one will probably be coming out just before I'm moving to Mexico, but I'm not quite sure when this one will be coming out, but it's going to be around that time. So hopefully I get enough videos done. So I've got one for every day, or every twice a week while I'm traveling down to Mexico. But yeah, we'll see. But give this one a shot, guys. It really is a really deadly fly. And I tie it in several different colors. I do tie it in this coppery brown as well. I tie it in the green, and I tie it even in the yellow. And I've even tied it in a very light as well. So just have a few variations of it in your vise. So in your box. Sorry. Ready? Once again, tie lines, everyone.